All right, guys, I'm back with another B.C.B video, and he's talking about the most disrespected wrestler of this era. And you're going to be surprised at what he's going to talk about. But again, if y'all want to subscribe to his channel, here's a screenshot right here. But let's figure out who he's talking about.
Wrestling fans, what's going on, man? It's Black Couch Booking here with a brand new video. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, subscribe. I promise you will not be disappointed. And if you're old to the channel, Couch Crew, what's going on, man? Hope you guys are having a great day today. Please make sure you follow me on Instagram at Real Black Couch Booking, and please join my description. Links in the description down below, where the realest wrestling fans have the realest conversations. Don't worry, man. It's going to be a very tame video today. Can't be doing a whole bunch of yelling and screaming, man. It's nighttime. Your boy a little bit tired, but we got to crank out these uploads. We're on the road to 10K subs, so make sure you sub up. You know what I'm saying? It's free to sub. You can support multiple content creators, baby. You don't got to pay. You know what I'm saying? So just sub to the channel. Help me reach my goal, and I'm going to provide y'all with some great content. But today I want to talk about a wrestler who I feel is one of the more disrespected wrestlers, not just by the booking, but fans are starting to be disrespectful as well, and they forget how influential this guy is. I'm talking about Finn Balor, and I'm not making this because he lost to Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania. That is the decision that I wanted. I do think Finn and Dom should have a one-on-one, and Finn should put Dom over. It's not about that. It's not about the present. It's about an accumulation of time with who Finn Balor was, who he became, and who he is, you know what I'm saying, like in present day. And I think it's nasty work. Win-loss records don't matter that much in WWE because they don't really pay attention to them. But having 2024, like 18 wins and 50 something or 60 losses is nasty. And in 2025, having 1 win and 8 losses.
So in case you guys are looking at this chart, this is Finn Balor's records for wins and losses. And right now he has 1 win and 8 losses in 1 year. It ain't looking good. Hopefully he could be able to switch it up once he wins the Intercontinental title from Dom. But until then, or you know what? Hopefully he could get some wins, you know, once he start teaming up with either Becky or Alexa Bliss, and hopefully they'll be, you know, hopefully they'll get an opportunity to, you know what I'm saying? I mean, but in the meantime, you know, he's still in the Judgment Day. And tonight we will have to see where his status go from here. Hopefully he doesn't go that far and try to betray Dom so early and just, you know, just try to figure out a plan. Because, again, you know, if bro slide right now, it's not going to look good. So if I was him, I will wait. I'll probably wait till after Backlash. I still would try to talk to JD and try to persuade him, and also try to, you know, talk to Liv Morgan as well if you're trying to get her away from Dom. So it's not looking good for Finn right now, but hopefully once he wins the IC belt, he'll start getting his single push like they promised, and then he'll start winning matches again. So hopefully we'll get to see that. But until then, this is what we get. So
it's absolute nasty work. I don't care what none of y'all say. That's nasty. Finn Balor trained Becky Lynch. I'm telling you how influential this guy is. Finn Balor trained and introduced Becky Lynch to the industry. Trained JD McDonough. Trained Nikki Cross. This man, not only did he do that, this man is a founding member of the Bullet Club, one of the coolest factions ever. Not just New Japan, not just independent wrestling. No, the Bullet Club is one of the coolest factions ever, and one of the more world-renowned factions. Even people in WWE were showing up to WWE shows with a Bullet Club t-shirt, so much so that they had the club, Balor Club, the OC. They had to make different iterations of it so it could fit in WWE and pay homage somehow. That's how influential the Bullet Club was. And you know what? I had a debate if Finn Balor or Johnny Gargano was Mr. NXT. Finn Balor is Mr. NXT. 2 different NXT title reigns over 200 days minimum for Finn Balor. Finn Balor is Mr. NXT. The Demon, Finn Balor? Guys, the Demon is one of the most coolest wrestling characters ever. And how did that end? Well, you look at WrestleMania 39, he lost to a Brood Edge. And Edge is my favorite wrestler of all time, but the Brood Edge doesn't have mystique and powers. It's just Edge with a different skin. Finn Balor, his literal final form, lost to Edge. We couldn't even get Finn Balor versus the Fiend, Demon Finn Balor versus the Fiend. That's just early. Think about this. This man won the Universal Championship. He got hurt, but I mean, it's not his fault he got hurt. And they punished him essentially for that. This man got punished for getting hurt. He was Universal Champion for 1 day because he was injured, had to relinquish the title. The first ever Universal Champion that is now retired and never had a chance to get it back. Never had a chance to get it back. The championship's gone now. You're the first, but you wasn't the last because you never had a chance to get it back. This man had 1 world title in WWE. We're not counting NXT for right now. And I love NXT. I would never respect the prestige of the NXT championship. This man never had a world title in WWE besides the Universal Championship. Since then, he was only Intercontinental Champion, United States Champion, Tag Team Champion, and he had to go back to NXT to become a top champion again. When I think of, see, he has a certain archetype, right? When I think of those type of archetypes, I think about Seth Rollins, Kenny Omegas, the Jay Whites type of characters, even AJ Styles, New Japan type characters, Will Ospreay to a certain extent. I think Finn Balor is with those guys, but as of recently, they've knocked him down a couple of pegs. Finn Balor should be in the conversation with Seth Rollins and Kenny Omega. Finn Balor should be in that conversation. And accolades aren't everything. Finn Balor still has banger matches. But and I will say, to be objective, that Finn Balor's promo on the main roster hasn't been good. I'll be objective and I'll be fair, right? But Finn Balor's the type of guy, like in NXT, he was so good that it didn't matter. In New Japan, he was so good that it didn't matter. Because here's the thing, right? It's very rare that you have a superstar that's great at everything, right? And a guy like Finn Balor had enough aura, had enough mystique, had enough good in-ring skills, had a demon Finn Balor character, had the regular Finn Balor character. So much so that if his promo not the greatest, you can hide that. You can still have back and forth interactions, and his backstage stuff is pretty interesting, right? With the peak Judgment Day, with Dom, Finn, Rhea, and just Damian. And even a little bit of JD McDonough when he joined, like Finn Balor was cutting some good stuff backstage, some fun stuff. But now, you know, Finn Balor is essentially the Dolph Ziggler of WWE right now. And no disrespect to Dolph Ziggler, that's a story for another day. Because Dolph Ziggler and R-Truth, those are 2 different stories for different days. Trust me. This might be a series, the most disrespected wrestler series. That might be a series coming to the channel. But I think Finn Balor deserves better. I think Finn Balor, you could have gave him 1 more world title, bro. I don't see why he couldn't have the opportunity to get his get back. He got hurt. Was it his fault he got hurt? It takes 2 to tango. They really punished him for getting hurt, and he never got the chance again. And you cannot put that on Triple H. That's a Vince McMahon call. Vince McMahon got a lot of things wrong, and that was wrong. You should have gave Finn Balor a shot, bro. And people are going to say, well, you know, after he got hurt and came back, maybe he was exposed that he wasn't good enough. And at the time when he came back, you know, there were other Universal Champions, the Romans and the Brocks and the Kevin Owens emerged. And I understand that wholeheartedly, but come on, bro. Like, that's a business thing, right? Not the money wise, but like that's a business thing. Like the business, not the business of money, like just the business of wrestling, bro. If somebody gets hurt for their reign, you're supposed to let them get their get back. You supposed to let them like actually run it and see what they can do. And when he went back to NXT and came back, he had hella momentum. So why not let him be the Universal Champion 1 more time? You know what should have happened? He should have ended up beating Bray Wyatt for the belt, but obviously we had the Goldbergs and the Roman Reigns and the Braun Strowmans and all this other type of stuff. When the Fiend beat Finn Balor at SummerSlam, when the Fiend debuted, Finn Balor should have came back as the Demon and beat Bray Wyatt for the Universal Championship. But obviously they had other plans that led to the Tribal Chief and blah 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 blah. But it's just sad, bro, because Finn Balor deserves more. Finn Balor is an upper echelon talent that just that really got hurt from not being able to recover from that Universal Championship, bro. And I would have loved for Finn Balor to be the one to beat Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Championship. I mean, listen, they made the right decision, and the right person took the belt off of him. But like Finn Balor's put over Damian Priest, essentially has put over Dominic Mysterio, basically, and we know what's gonna happen, right? Like, what else do we need to do, y'all? Like, can Finn Balor get his? And everybody that doesn't deserve to get theirs, understandable. But this guy is a world-renowned superstar. WWE is not the end-all, be-all. But you combine his WWE stuff with the New Japan stuff. This guy is like that, bro. He's if you don't consider him a legend in WWE, he's a legend in wrestling, bro. The founding member of the Bullet Club, Mr. NXT. At the end of the day, he's still the first Universal Champion. He's a legend, bro. He's a legend in wrestling, not WWE. If you don't want to say WWE, cool. He's a legend in wrestling, period. Guys, this guy is the real deal. Like, he's not a joke. But now they made him to be a joke. And listen, I know what y'all going to say. Well, he's happy with his position. He got the bag. Cool. That's on him. I'm talking about how I feel, and I know how some of y'all feel. He's happy. You know, Finn Balor, he be posted up with his lady. He got his bread. He having a good time. He like his schedule. Cool. I love Finn Balor, and I'll never disrespect Finn Balor. But I'm saying that Finn Balor deserves more because that's my perspective. We not getting personal. We talking about from a fan perspective. From a fan perspective, Finn Balor is better than a lot of these guys. Finn Balor should be an upper echelon player. Now, us who really know what he was doing in New Japan, you know what I'm saying, IWGP Junior champion, I believe, for over 400 days, we know what's up. But at the end of the day, everybody don't know that. At the end of the day, they think this guy's a scrub. And this guy is on the level. And this guy is, if you, like I said, if you have guys like Seth Rollins, Kenny Omega, the Will Ospreays, the AJ Styles, shoot, I mean, I've been rocking with Jay White. I think Jay White can reach that upper echelon soon. The Okadas and all these people. Finn Balor is on that list. Finn Balor should be on the Adam Cole. Ooh, that's another story for another day. That's another guy who's hella disrespected. Adam Cole, he's on that list with those guys. That archetype that is hard to explain, but he's on that list. But he's not being treated as such. And it really, really sucks because Finn Balor's nice. And I really, really wish that he's had that opportunity to run that back, bro. Or he could at least beat Damian. Even if he would have beat Damian Priest and lost it back to him, and held that belt for like a 2 week, 3 weeks, that would have made up for that one day to me. I hope before it's all said and done, he could have just one world champ. And I don't even like Sami Zayn, but I think a guy like Sami Zayn should have one as well. But, you know, everybody can't get it. So I hope, you know, Finn Balor's happy with everything, and if he ever left WWE to go back to New Japan, or maybe go across the pond, become AEW champion, I would love to see it. But, you know, Finn Balor, and the age thing don't matter. He's 38, but he's accomplished a lot in his career, guys. There are people who are 44, 45 wrestling, and they're in peak shape, peak condition. R-Truth like 50-something, or Mysterio like, what, 50 or something like that. Finn Balor can get it, but these young guys are on the rise. There are new stars being built every day. I just want Finn Balor to get one, baby. And not another NXT championship. Finn Balor should be a world champion at least one time. Preferably the WWE championship, because that will solidify him. Because the World Heavyweight Championship, they're treating it as a secondary title for guys who are good enough, but they can't hold a WWE championship. And Finn Balor should be the WWE champion. So let me know what y'all think, though, man. Like, comment, subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed that video today. Hope you guys can hear me very well. And I'm looking forward to, you know, dropping more content for you guys. So I'll see you guys very soon. Peace out.
Well, if you guys can't read the picture, I say, how long should this feud end? And people say SummerSlam. So if we got to wait till SummerSlam, then we got to wait. So only thing I hope for Finn Balor is that he be patient, talk to one by one with JD and Liv Morgan, and hopefully, you know, they could work with him to kick Dom out of the group. You know, but a lot of people wanted Finn to step out of the group. I told him he should quit, you know, quit the group and try to get JD and Liv Morgan to betray him, you know. To me, that's my plan, you know. If you can't take it no more, then you should quit. Quit the Judgment Day, go on your own. But, however, still try to get a hold of JD and get a hold of Liv Morgan so that way they can betray Dom. So that way you got two people on your side. And if Raquel and Carlito want to side with him, they can, you know. And then hopefully at that time you won't take no more L's, you know. And then hopefully you'll win the belt, which we predict that you will at SummerSlam. But the question is, do you have to turn demon, you know? Because people saying, well, if he has to turn demon in order for him to win, then that's a problem, you know. So I say start off regular and then turn into the demon. But I just wonder what can influence you to turn demon, you know. I don't know what, but all that anger build up is probably going to most likely turn him to that. But I think I really hope that they don't kick him out, because when the best thing to do is just quit, you know, quit the Judgment Day, try to recruit JD and Liv Morgan so that way they can turn on him. And, you know, as for Carlito, he's going to ride with Raquel. And if Raquel starts switching on Liv Morgan, it makes sense, you know, because she didn't see what we saw. Maybe she thought that Liv and Dom were a couple, just like these Liv and Dom fans, you know. And maybe she didn't see things that we saw in the beginning, you know, because she wasn't around when Finn and Liv were together. She wasn't around, you know. She wasn't around when the Terror Twins were facing Liv and Dom at Bash in Berlin, you know. She didn't come until after Bad Blood, you know. So maybe she might look at things differently, you know. But all these predictions I'm talking about right now, these are possibilities. But the reality of it is, I don't think Finn is going to hold that anger for long. At some point, he's going to have to take it out. But I just think the best bet for you, Finn, is that you quit the Judgment Day. You quit and, you know, you get JD thinking. You know, all you got to do is get JD to think. Because if JD thinks, you know, he could be one of your people to still be part of the Judgment Day, but you get him to think. And then once he start thinking, then at that moment, that's when he betrayed Dom. And then it'd just be two of you. And then hopefully you guys can do the same thing for Liv Morgan. And then you can get her to betray him too. Now, there are rumors saying they might do a wedding ceremony for Liv and Dom. And if they do decide to do that, the idea should be this. It should be, this is what I would like to see, right? Because the first thought is they're going to do a video where basically Liv Morgan gets caught cheating with some guy. I don't know what guy. It could be Julius Creed, which I hope not. Finn Balor, you know, any guy, you know. But, you know what I'm saying? It could be any guy. But the storyline has to be Finn. I don't want these two as a couple. I really don't. I don't want Liv and Finn as a couple. I want them as a part. I want them to have a partnership, because we know this is about business, right? I don't want these two as a couple. No. But I do want them in a partnership. You get what I'm saying? If we could get them in a partnership, that's much better than for them to be a couple. Because that's not what the people want. They don't want Finn and Liv as a couple. They want Finn and Liv as business partners, you know, right? Like, the people might not gravitate it right away, but they will once they start going back and seeing that Finn and Liv have something in motion. You get what I'm saying? Before the Liv and Dom movement started developing. So hopefully Finn would just be patient, try to chill out, control your temper, control your anger, and just start planning, you know? Start planning, and then hopefully you'll get to where you need to go. Because doing it right now is just not the option. So hopefully tonight, Finn will remain cool, talk to JD, keep everything to yourself, And please make sure JD don't do no talking. Because if JD start talking, you can't trust him no more. But at least he'll start thinking. You know, you gotta remind people how much you have done for them. You know, I mean, I still think now. Another question is that will Becky Lynch work with Finn Balor? I mean, look, I have a dream match where Finn, Becky, Lyra, JD team up to go against Liv, Dom, Carlito, and Raquel. I do like to see that as Saturday night's main event. But then I also thought about Finn, JD, Alexa, and Nikki teaming up against Liv and Dom and Raquel and Carlito. But it might not come to that. It might, you know what I'm saying? We might get a one-on-one where against Liv and versus Alexa. The question is Alexa Bliss going to win? Well, if she don't have Nikki Cross, I don't know how. So, again, there's just so many predictions and so many theories and so many possibilities. And again, this story is just getting to the end. So we have what? We have, because it's going to be May this Thursday. So we have, let's see, we have 5 months when it's about to be 4. So we got 5 months until SummerSlam. So let's just see how it goes. But hopefully Finn will control his emotions until he can get everybody on board. I doubt you're gonna get Raquel and Carlito on board, but maybe Liv can talk to maybe Liv can talk to Raquel and Raquel can talk to Carlito. But the question is, are you gonna get the whole group to betray Dom when you could rather just do half? Because I don't believe Raquel and Carlito are gonna betray Dom. I just don't think so. Unless Carlito feels disrespected. But I feel like he feels more disrespected from Liv Morgan than he feels more disrespect from Dom. You know, Dom is pretty chill when it comes to Carlito. But however, you don't really hear much disrespect from Dom when he's talking to Carlito. But you hear more disrespect from Liv Morgan when he's talking to Carlito. You know, getting his name wrong, comparing him to Miranda Cosgrove, you know what I'm saying, from the TV show we all grew up watching. From Nickelodeon, you know what I'm talking about. So, again, I think Dom is going to try to get Carlito and Raquel to side with him, which it makes sense because Raquel wasn't around when Finn and Liv were working together, you know. And Carlito, he's been getting positive feedback from Dominic Mysterio, and Raquel hasn't really gave him that yet, but she will. And hopefully she will stand up for him and say, don't call him that. Call him his real name, and his name is Carlito. You know? And then hopefully the crowd will start siding with her and start siding with, you know, with Dom. And, well, they're going to side with Dom regardless, but still. Hopefully this rivalry will end. But will it end completely? I'm not sure. I mean, because if they get split in half, then maybe JD and Liv will start the Bullet Club. Maybe they could recruit AJ. Maybe they could recruit Cody Rhodes. Maybe they could bring back the OC, and then maybe they'll have a group right there. Maybe they could recruit Tommy Tonga once he, you know, recovers from his injury. You know, like there's so many. You know, because he was a former member in the Bullet Club, so. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if he joins. So, we'll see. I mean, listen, Finn will still have a solo run. He just will have backup, you know? And then as for Dom, you know, will him and Carlito and Raquel work together? I don't know. I mean, I would like for him to come to SmackDown while Liv stay on Raw. But, again, we have to wait and see. But in the meantime, let's just let the story play out. But no, I do believe Finn will get back on top. We just gotta wait for the story to end. So we'll see how it goes. But y'all get in the comment box and let me know what you guys think is going to happen, you know? Give me your thoughts. Give me your stories. You know, stories that you can come up for the Judgment Day. What do you think is going to happen? What's your prediction? You know, what do you think is going to happen with Finn? What do you think is going to happen with Dom? What do you think is going to happen with Liv Morgan? What do you think is going to happen with Raquel, Carlito, JD? Y'all let me know down below. All right. And what you guys think about the video, too. You know, is B.C.B right? Are they disrespecting Finn Balor? Or they're just, you know, sleeping on him right now until you wake everybody up? Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new, and I'll catch y'all in the next video, all right? I'm out.